I think we can call to order. We're gonna need until, is John on too? John doesn't seem to be on, yeah. Yeah, we'll call the meeting to order, and I think it would be, Dave, you would be next, yeah, so we'll so do we have there's Karen. We'll scratch that. Well, yeah, yeah. Good morning. So we'll call the meeting to order. Do we have a motion for approval of the January 5th meeting minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Do we have a second? So Ed and then Deb. Do we have any comments on the meeting minutes?
Where is John?
Any comments on the meeting? Okay. All in favor of approving the minutes, say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Minutes approved. Do we have any public comment, general comment? We do? Please.
Yes.
Please, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, please come up.
So, Ginger Harris.
Please come up and,
Okay.
yeah, and if you want to pull a chair up, you're more than welcome to do that too.
We're here representing a neighborhood by the middle school and the high school where the lights are affecting the residences. We have two discussions we're going to have. The first one is about the middle school in the evening. There's a 3-light, I could also put it up there for you, but there's a Jim Transom light, which is on the top. And there's new lights that were installed, which you'll see obviously on the building. And then there's parking lot lights, all of which have changed since the last time I was at this meeting when he had pack lights that were on the school. Now, the Jim Transom light, which is the first part I'll address, that just light trespasses out everywhere and it's on until sometimes 11 o'clock at night. Now, I worked at a public school, I worked at a private school, and school hours are over usually around by 5. I have no idea why the Jim Transom light is on all evening. The lights on the building stay on until 9 p.m. and then the parking lot lights are on sometimes till midnight. All of which the lighting, as you can see, is excessively bright. It almost feels like a prison. It doesn't feel like it's a school in a historic district. And there are 3 different schools that, have different lighting. There's the center school, the middle school, and the high school. I've walked around the entire building to count how many lights are on each school. The center school has 6, and their lights are lower lumens and more protected, such as this. So much more calm. And the high school has 10 on the entire school. Now, I'm not including the pathway lighting, which is like beautiful and low
You're
level.
talking about exterior
Building lights, anything affixed. The middle school, however, has 32 lights on the exterior of the building. So, and their lights are significantly brighter. They give off more lumens and they also light trespass, which per the governor are not allowed to be even on a public building. So this is breaking the laws of Connecticut lighting. So if it's going to be over 1,800 lumens, it needs to be shielded per Governor Lamont. And as you can see, that if I looked up at this light and Ed Pinn here, who's an eye doctor, I was blinded for 2 minutes fully after trying to take a photo of it. So it's excessively bright. And he's even turned this down. So this is considered in a lower format. He assured me when he was going to replace these lights that they were going to look like this.
And is that at an entrance or that's not?
That is just over a random door. He has them affixed to just the building. On the actual front facing that faces Lime Street, there are, I think there's 14. So that exceeds the entire high school. It's
and
just
they're not shielded, yeah.
Some of them are. There are a few that are like this.
And is that photo taken from across the street or at the?
This one was taken directly from my house,
which is
looking 62 Lime Street, directly across from the middle school.
Oh, okay. So that's the barber shop in the forum.
Yep, that's the yep, directly across. And then this, I stood taking the photo of each of those. So I don't believe the gym transom, what's interesting, the high school gym transom has blackout shades on it. So it's completely protected. This is a very long transom. I mean, it exceeds, it's just quite large. So it feels excessively bright and unnecessary in the historic district, in my opinion. And I feel that just the parking lot lights alone, which are at least 10 to 20 times brighter than the high school parking lot lights, because he installed all new lighting. And there's about 60 or 50 parking lot lights that are in the front. This is actually the historic district I measured, beginning of the parking lot. And then on the side, the parking lot lights are still there too. So they're very, very bright. I mean, you could actually turn off all of the school lights and leave the parking lot lights on, it would be sufficient. But so that's my.
When did this begin? In other words, when were the lights added and when did you?
So the last time I was here, which was right after election of 2024, he installed PAC lights per the request of the town. And PAC lights are not allowed. So he said, I will switch them. It took him a year and 2 months to switch them. So this is what he switched them to.
Wait, who is he?
Ian Nevahiser.
Oh, Nevisor, okay. Sorry.
He
So
switched them to
superintendent.
these brighter.
Turn it so John can see the.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No, that's fine.
I'm sorry, John.
Can you hear me?
I apologize. So
The
this
camera's up top there, so you can,
okay.
it's early for John. He's on the West Coast.
There you go.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
So I'm happy to email these to you as well.
That would be
No,
helpful.
that's okay. I have a good idea.
I
Thank
have
you.
videos, I have photos of every stage in the evening, and so
So if the properties are in the district, then this is something that the Historic District Commission can take up. At the same time, I'll note that the zoning commission is rewriting the zoning ordinance.
right.
And this is actually one of the items in one of our comments,
Mhm.
is properties that are outside the historic district that aren't under our purview, but then have impact on the
Right.
historic
Yep,
district.
this absolutely
It's
impacts it.
something-
Yeah,
it's something that we would like for the zoning commission to consider in their rewrite.
Correct.
I would suggest that this same presentation be submitted to the zoning commission at their public hearing, so that that's identified. And I think we'll look into this.
okay. Yeah, Eric, I've looped into it, and
Yeah.
he indicated to Ian that the lights really should be turned off an hour after the close of business and an hour before. That's like standard practice. I mean, my mom lives in a historic district. I've never, this is so bright and unnecessary. I think,
Have you
Yeah.
been in front of us before?
yes,
Okay.
when we had the PAC lights put on the school, it looked like a Taylor
But
Swift
was there
concert.
another person that lived south of the school? Just
I don't
came in.
recall.
I just don't recall if we did
Well,
anything.
What was it?
I
I
don't.
know Eric had come, but I don't know. if
Eric-
it's to this.
That's the
meeting.
secondary discussion, was the flashing billboard sign, which, so.
Okay. And did we do anything?
The flashing billboard sign goes off at 8 o'clock at night and is on at 5 a.m. Might be on actually earlier, but
It used to be all night long and.
I was gonna say, I've seen it later.
mhm.
I feel
And,
like,
but it is still,
It is
more than a nuisance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Obnoxious.
and unnecessary. I mean, the amount of time it takes you to drive up that entrance. The students probably get 2 messages, maybe max that, because, by the time they get to that and then take a left to go into the high school, they're really not actually getting all this information. It feels like it should belong in the high school, not at the entrance, which is impacting the entire residential district. But it's quite a light show. I mean, in the
Yes.
evening, you can see the lights illuminated over the sky and it's bright, flashing. It's pretty significant. And I can send a video of that too. We filmed that.
I've driven in and I can't even read what's on the
No,
board
it's
because
blinding.
the background of it is so bright.
Right. And in fact, the dark sky compliant, this is considered not dark sky compliant in the evening whatsoever because of the type of lumens. They're actually 10 times brighter than a billboard, which I was surprised to. I'm surprised this was installed and allowed to be
Is
installed.
the radiation is the radiation coming from the billboard or is there a light?
It comes from the billboard, but it like it goes up into the sky and it has quite a diameter.
So one of the things that we're requesting is that
Yeah,
that's
thank
called
you.
direct lighting versus indirect, where you're
Correct.
shining onto the, whatever the.
Right. It's not shielded and you can't field a light like this. And,
Yeah.
and I don't believe it should even be there. That's a separate issue. But if it's going to be there, the residents think it should be turned off at an appropriate hour.
Yes.
I mean, we originally said 6 PM, but the more I've thought about it, I found out that this can't even be installed within a mile of a wetlands. So that's a whole nother issue because this is definitely within a mile of the wetlands. So I think it should be turned off maybe even at 5. I mean, who in the high school, if you have sports practices and I was a coach there, it's 2:30 to 4:30. I mean, really after 5 is unnecessary. So.
All right. Any other questions or comments?
I know there are some late games, basketball or what have
Right.
you, but it just needs to be toned down.
Right, even if there were a game as such, you're usually, a lot of people are leaving the school, so they're not even reading the sign. That's part one. But part two, they've already seen the student of the month,
Right.
you know, and whatever else, you know, happy winter. They've already seen those 2 messages flash on their way in. How many times do you need to see it throughout the day?
It's just too, it's blinding. And
Yeah.
it's problematic that it's so close to the wetlands because there are wetlands there.
Yeah, it is, and it's affecting obviously wildlife and
Right.
Ginger used to have birds. And she
I
doesn't-
used to have a lot of birds. I'm at 73 Lime Street.
Yeah, she really, every bedroom in her house.
My backyard goes up to the tennis courts. So there's wetlands back there. So I know the wetlands are right there.
Right.
Like this.
Right.
I can tell you the time and temperature from 8 rooms of my house.
Oh my gosh.
It's pretty bad. I went over to
There
see
is
it.
no power because it has been on their generator as well. So that's fun.
So it's never off.
It's no beats.
Now, I don't know if they changed that
Yeah.
after they started
Right.
turning it off in the middle of the night.
Right.
Because it was, you know, we installed blackout shades and curtains because our bedrooms are back there.
Right.
But
It's just very inconsiderate to have installed it
I
near a
couldn't believe it,
residence.
but
Yeah.
we call it the Vegas sign.
Yeah,
Um,
that's true.
And I'm surprised it has taken me this long to come here. I guess I'm naive and thought, oh, you know, if a government entity installed this, it must check all the boxes and abide by everything. But after speaking with many of my neighbors, actually, you'll see what we've put together here.
Yeah, this is a
Um,
petition they'll
I
sign.
learned I'm not the only one.
Oh, that's
and,
great.
Just because I live very close to it and can see it, doesn't mean I'm the only one impacted. There's many other.
And it
families.
also is on a Sunday. I was over at Erica's, the brand new house that was just built, and we're in her kitchen and I'm like, it's on a Sunday as well. So it should be off on Sundays. It should be off on holidays. It should be off when they're not in session. And Saturday to me.
We have just recently upgraded our sign guidelines.
Okay,
And in that, many of the things that you're talking about
Mhm.
have been added,
right,
time of day,
the lumen,
Kelvin, lumens,
Yeah.
all that.
right,
So this is all very recent.
Right.
This past year. So I think we're getting more up to speed on
sure.
light impact. I know the town is as well. So if you'd like to submit any of these materials,
Oh, yeah, this is for you. And I have, if you need videos or anything like
I
this.
don't know if we need videos. I think
Okay.
this is sufficient, maybe a copy of your original.
Yeah, I didn't make a copy of this, but you guys, this is for you. And this is the middle school light.
Then we
And this
can,
is this is the high school. I don't know if you need me to.
Leave it in there.
Okay, but just so you know, I didn't label it. But I could have printed off hundreds of photos for you.
we'll start this discussion in new business. But thank you.
You're welcome. Yeah, thank
When
you.
is the next hearing on the new zoning regulations?
I think a week from today.
That's where you
Nice.
go.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. The next, the new zoning regulation is being considered and some of the lighting elements are being changed in that as well.
Okay,
So this is a great time to provide comment
great.
to the zoning commission.
And when is that again? When is that meeting?
Their next meeting is the 9th.
The ninth.
The 9th here. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, we could do that.
So hopefully you have copies of all that.
I did make a copy of this, but we could maybe Ed or somebody can help me grab a copy of this before you leave your meeting. Maybe I can go
Yeah,
run
you-
over and get it or.
Yeah, we would probably keep that, and I believe you should submit something before the 9th to the zoning.
Yes, before the meeting.
Okay, well, I could just take a picture of this and then just give
I
this
think
to
if
you.
Go to the office, they'll make you.
Okay, I'll make a copy. I don't need
Keep
this.
the
Those are
original.
you. Okay, keep the
Keep the
original.
Yes.
Blue ink is important.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we really think that like changing the times, changing the days are probably the most important part, really. And obviously the lumens, which I didn't realize were required now in the state of Connecticut.
Lumens, and then also something that we're focused on in the historic district is color temperature.
I agree.
So-
Should be warm, not cold.
Warm, not cold, and then cut off, so we're not affecting the dark sky.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, no, it's really interesting stuff. A lot of towns have adopted under these dark sky compliant. So it's nice to see Old Lyme.
Great.
Yeah.
Thank you for your input.
Thank you, everyone. I appreciate it. I'll make a copy of this and bring it back.
I think we need to move to election of officers. So we need a motion to elect officers, and then a second, and then a vote.
We just voted at the end of last year, but that was only for the remainder of 2025.
So do we,
Like a nomination? How would you like?
I think we need a motion, correct, Martha?
Yeah.
Yeah, we need a motion.
I'll make the motion that we elect as chairs, both John Noyes and Russ Todd, and as vice chair, Deb Ternaki.
Do we have a second? Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Or I abstain, I guess.
Yeah, you better.
I better abstain.
abstain.
I abstain. And John abstains.
And Deb abstains.
Yeah, her,
Do we have three
enough.
yes
Right.
votes if people are abstaining?
We
Well,
need
she
to
doesn't have to
Because
abstain from
If we don't,
chair.
Okay.
You don't have
to
to abstain.
abstain from,
Yeah.
so,
yeah,
So do we-
I would make it as two
Use that.
motions, one for co-chairs and
Right.
one for vice chair.
Good idea. I was in the motion.
all right, so we need a revised motion for co-chairs.
Co-chairs. I nominate John and Russ as co-chairs of the
Do
HTC.
we have a second?
I'll second.
All in favor? Okay. Do we have a motion for vice?
Well, wait a second. You need to record any opposed and abstentions.
True.
I abstain. I
Um,
abstained.
John abstains and I abstain. The motion carries.
3-0.
Yeah.
3-0 to 2.
Mhm.
Now I'd like a motion for, do we have a motion for vice chair?
That we appoint both Deb vice chair.
That's your motion.
Do you make a motion?
I move.
Second.
Ed moves, Carolyn seconds. Can we have discussion? Any discussion?
Are you gonna do a good job?
Mhm.
Good enough for me. I don't even get
It's been tough. It's been tough so far, Deb.
Okay, in this situation, John and I can vote. So all in favor? Aye. Okay. No abstentions?
Deb.
Well, one, Deb abstained, yeah. 6, we had 4, so 1 abstention. All right, there, good.
Motion carries.
Motion carries, yeah. Co-chairs report, John?
I just have a couple items. First is, I see Curly Lieber there, yes. And
Here.
I just want to welcome you. you will undoubtedly get to participate as a voting member occasionally. The way we do that is that, as you may have heard, is if not all 5 regular members show up, we rotate amongst the alternates. But anyway, welcome, and please ask anyone if you have any questions. And
Thank you.
you're more than welcome, even if when you're not voting, to just contribute to the discussion at meetings.
Thank you.
And John and Curly's sworn in.
Oh,
so
she is
can-
good.
So she can take her seat as an alternate.
Yeah, I mean, Curly
Yeah.
has some background in design work and some experience working with National Historic Register properties that will be, I think, extremely valuable to have someone with that background on the commission.
And I
My second
John's welcome.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you.
my second item is I had written Eric Knapp about several questions, or not several, a few questions concerning the historic district. And I wanted to report at this time on 2 of them. One has to do with wire signs. I asked whether those would be considered portable signs under the zoning regulations. My reason for asking that question is because the existing zoning regulations give as examples of portable signs only sandwich board signs. The proposed new regulations simply say portable signs. Seems to me they're portable. Eric confirms that they're portable. The interesting thing is he says, I have, with the exception of contractor signs and signs that are very temporary for a nonprofit event, with those exceptions, he says, I have just started pulling wire signs out and leaving them with Public Works. However, he has not done that on Lime Street, only because compared to other locations in town, the numbers of signs have not been excessive. We can discuss how you would like me to handle this going forward. My suggestion is that we simply get back to Eric and tell him to include in his enforcement activities the removal of for-profit wire signs, signs other than event signs. The other thing was to check on the status of the ice cream shop. And I learned some things here. He says the ice cream shop is the subject of a very specific variance. If you operate a food service operation in the front, you have to live in the back. And apparently he has been approached by several potential buyers of the property and says, so far, everyone who has come in does not want to live in the back themselves. They want to rent the back out to a tenant, which is not consistent with the home occupation parameters of the variance. And then from the perspective of zoning, he says if someone wanted to create another kind of home occupation, zoning regulations limit that business use to 25% of the site and require 2 dedicated parking spaces. And of course, a person would have to live in the property. So with those restrictions, who knows? There might be someone who wants to start a home occupation. There may be someone who simply wants to convert the property to a residence. Those were the only items I wanted to report on at this point.
Is that basically a zoning variance issue, not a historic district issue at this point,
That's
correct?
correct. And I mean, we really have no say about uh, uses because
Right.
we're concerned with structures, but I had heard some questions about what was happening with the property, and at a certain point, if it stays vacant, and the property's in need of repair, or somebody comes in and wants to change the structure at all, we may be faced with questions.
All right, great. Thank you, John. Let's see, it's 9:25, 9:20. 52 Lime Street.
I'm sorry, Russ, did you have some issue you were going to
I
comment
don't
on?
think so. Yeah, I don't think so. Remind me, was there something?
There was something and I'm blanking on it.
Yeah,
If I find it, we can
in new business.
comment later.
Yeah, new business. Yeah, I don't think so at this point. So, 52 Lime Street,
Is there anyone here from the
Duck River? Yeah, great.
The applicant, you'll note, is Martha Shoemaker.
Morning.
Good morning, ma'am. Good
Thank
morning.
you for having me
Please
back.
pull up a chair. Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm Mary Ellen Basham, as you all
Yeah.
know, and this is my River Garden Club group. Our president Leslie is here. And our vice president Paula is here. So we are all here.
So Marilyn, before we get started,
Yes.
I think you visited with us 2 meetings ago.
Mhm.
And at that time, you had indicated that there were 2 or 3 locations that you were looking at, maybe 4, some within the district, some outside of the district.
Mhm.
And I would like for us to have a conversation about the proposed location, but also some of these other locations as well,
Sure.
why you chose them or did not choose them. And then also a discussion from the commission. I think we'll continue the conversation about some other ideas that have been
Mhm.
discussed. So maybe if you could touch on all those points.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, go ahead.
I would just like to know, you made a presentation to the Board of Supervisors, Selectmen, yeah? What happened there? Could you tell us?
Yeah, absolutely. I can tell you everything you want to know. Just so y'all know, I did watch your YouTube video of the recording, so I'm pretty much up to speed on everything you talked about. I'm happy to answer all your questions. I do have an alternative plan that I'd like to talk to about too. And if that's something that you think would be a better fit, I'd rather spend the time kind of conversing about that and not wasting a lot of people's time talking about the alternative. But I will, for the selectmen meeting, basically I went in and I presented them with the idea, and we had a discussion about it and they were very much on board with it. There weren't a whole lot of questions. I know that some of you, it was pretty easy. Like there was not a lot of pushback. They were very supportive of it. Martha had talked about finding the right place for it. She was very adamant about making sure that people could actually see it and touch it if they wanted to, that it was in a safe location, but also kept in mind that you're respecting your idea of not having the front look too cluttered. So we pushed them back a little bit. On that note, I know there was discussion about the tree commission. So the tree commission got involved not because of the roots. I know that you guys looked it up to see what the selectmen had commented on, and the tree commission popped up. So we needed to talk to them because initially this project included a dogwood tree, which is like not something that we're even pushing for anymore. And one of the selectmen had said, well, this tree is really old. We might be able to switch it out and put a dogwood tree in there. We should ask the tree commission about that. So that's not in the works right now. That was just the reason why they wanted to talk to the tree commission.
I am on the tree committee.
Yes.
And that tree is not very old. And it also is going to grow to this is just when you do, you're going to have to, I guess, make a presentation to the tree commission. The circumference, when it grows, is going to be substantially more than it is now.
Yes.
So that would affect the placement. I'm just.
No,
giving you-
absolutely. And I did talk with Joan Camilla about it extensively. We had a conversation and it was great. And she said the same thing. The concern I think you all came up with was a tree root situation, which yes, they grow out, they don't grow down. So that's something to consider. The posts aren't very big. And if it's a pretty established tree, I can't imagine that the roots would be disrupted, but we might not have to go down that road yet.
Okay,
So.
please proceed. What you came in.
Yeah. So just getting the feeling from y'all from the last meeting, it sounds like these signs are big, cumbersome, and it didn't seem like it was what you wanted here, or it didn't portray the Historic District Commission's theme. So although we would love them, I think for us, the importance is having something here. We have a couple other options for those signs, but the history of this place makes a difference, I think, in this signage. So I didn't give you guys a printout of this because I feel like paper is like, you guys have enough paper. So I'm just going to show you on the computer this other option. So these are called byway markers. Let me see if I can get this up. These are smaller. They're about this size. Right? They're 20 inches wide. So it's like 2 other inches. This is like 18 and they're 11 inches high. And they get posted on a rock or like a stone, like something like that. And they can be, I don't know if you can see this. And I actually have to show it to him too. Can you see it? Okay. So this is the Gold Star one. Can you, I don't know if you can see it.
Camera's at the top.
Yeah, I can see. Thank
Yeah.
you.
Okay, if anybody has a computer open, you can just Google Federated Garden Club byway marker and it will come up. So I thought that maybe this might be a good alternative to the signs if you're not wanting the bigger ones. They are less money. They're probably less maintenance. As far as putting them out front here, they can go because they're smaller, sort of anywhere. We could put them over. We have a site out front we take care of, and we could put one on each side of our site. We could put them on rocks out in front of the tree, step back a little bit, and it wouldn't be as big. It wouldn't be in the ground. We could even incorporate them into the veteran memorial that's out there. I can't really see it. There's too much snow out there, but those are just some ideas, and we don't have to talk about exactly where now. I guess what we just kind of want to know is it something that you would entertain? If it's not, then we're gonna go out and find something that's not within the Historic District Commission and just put them out somewhere else. So
You mentioned your site.
Mhm.
Could you explain where that is?
So, all right, if you were gonna look at Town Hall, the building, it's like right in front of Michelle's office almost. It's right, is that right? And it's like that little tree and it's the circle and it's got like the flowers and stuff in it.
So it's to the right of the old lime sign.
Um,
Oh, so
Oh.
it's around the sign.
oh, it's around the sun. I didn't know that. So yeah, so that might be a good idea. Again, these are the smaller things that like I would obviously have to put in a new CAFA. I would have to put in a lot of other things and the details would have to be worked out. But I guess I just don't want to go through all that if you're like, nope, we still don't want it there. So
So how is this one different than the first image that you showed?
this one is the Blue Star. And
What is it on?
so they're on like,
Right, that's on like granite.
yeah, like a
The other
granite.
one on the one,
The other one is on just another stone. And so so here,
oh, okay.
so is that better for you? So it looks bigger, but just remember, it's only this big.
Right,
So can y'all see that?
We could do the same small each.
Yeah, it would be the same small one. And so, just two quick things on that. So the Blue Star, everybody has the Blue Star. I've talked about this before. There's only two other cities in Connecticut that have the Gold Star. So I feel like the Gold Star and the Blue Star, they're hand in hand. They both, they just both need to be together. I think we're honoring like a huge group of veterans and deceased ones. And I think it's important, especially here. The other thing I thought about, which I never talked to you guys about, is that there's a lot of history downstairs of veterans and service members. And this program is very historical in a way that like there's booklets, there's information. And initially when Martha and I had talked about this way back in like August, September, I think was September, she was like, it would be great to have like names or like information. So if someone's looking at the Blue Star Memorial Highway and they're like, oh, we're driving through Old Lyme, let's check out their markers, they can actually come into town hall and read all about it. The schools come in here and they're downstairs looking at all this history. And wouldn't it be so great if they were like, oh gosh, I saw one of these in Virginia, and like they're a part of it. It's a huge system to be a part of. And I think it's a huge historical piece of information that is interesting. And that's why I feel like it really does belong here. And I know you guys don't like signs. I listen to all like the signs and everything, and I get it.
Lights now.
Yeah, lights and signs. And like, I totally understand. I just think that, again, like this should be like a museum to the history of men and women in service. This is what the town hall is for. And I think John had asked how many other town halls have these. And I kind of did a quick look and it's like a good amount have them. And it's where you want to put it. So
And you could just, you're proposing not putting them over here, but over there, if that is the lower.
yeah, I guess I'm not proposing anywhere yet. I just, it's wherever.
The concept of
The
having
concept, yeah.
this size sign at town hall
Yeah.
in lieu of the larger sign is what's being suggested.
Do they constitute a tripping hazard?
I don't know. I mean, it could. It depends if you had a couple of
You don't want
drinks.
to get the risk
I
assessment
mean-
manager involved here.
Everything's a risk, right? Like so I want to make sure that my group, if you guys have anything to interject,
And do we have any other
want to,
public comment?
or thoughts of or ideas.
No, just to reiterate that we are looking for possibilities at this point.
Right.
If this isn't a possibility, then we need to move on because we did want to dedicate this during America's 250.
250, yeah.
And we're running out of time. If it takes a long time, they can't make these. They're, as you said, they're expensive, et cetera.
Yeah, please.
And I would like to say the Duck River Garden Club, we're all about beautification.
Yeah.
We don't want to, add elements that are unnecessary. We like to keep things simple.
Right.
And we already maintain the site here at town hall. We've done it for 50 years.
Do you have a photo of, I mean, I know, like you said, there's so much snow out there now, of the sign area and how much
Yeah, I actually can, if you give me like 2 seconds, I can
space
probably
is around
find
that,
it.
how much,
Sure.
open.
Yeah, I don't know the dimensions of the space, but like, let me just take a quick look.
Russ,
I also,
you could just answer the question.
Well, I'd like to have all the commissioners
Yes, I mean,
have a conversation first or
If she
any
can-
questions. Yeah.
I think we'll talk after she finishes.
Unless you have any other specific questions.
I was just gonna add something and it was kind of important and I lost my train of thought.
About the site and what it looked like.
No, it was about something out front. I'm sorry. Maybe it'll come to me. Let me just see. I'm on the Duck River Garden Club of Old Lyme's page. Sometimes we post pictures of our sites and stuff like that. So I'm taking a quick look to see if there's anything out front. Oh, I remember what I was gonna say. So in from my own personal stance, like, this is supposed to be something that everybody can admire. Like, that's like Eleanor said, like, it's a beautification. And I know there, from the last meeting, there was like some resistance, and it would really bother me to know if those signs get overridden by Martha to be like, no, we're putting them out there. And there was some like animosity towards that. Like, I would feel really badly about that. So I don't want something here that people don't want, especially these. So I just wanted you to know that I respect your decision.
Thank you for that
perspective.
comment. Yeah.
All right, so this is kind of hard because we have so many pictures. I can email you something.
It's okay.
Okay, yeah.
All right. Any other?
So a couple of questions I
Sure.
have. I'm very interested in the alternative sites that you also
Yes.
considered. And second thing, and you can respond to both, is that I did I looked at a couple of things. One, the list of Connecticut Garden Club sites for Blue and Gold Star memorials in Connecticut. There were, now I didn't write it down, so I
Okay, I
didn't,
don't write down.
but there were only a few, maybe 3 or 4 that were in front of town halls,
Mhm.
according to the list that I saw. So the predominant sites are not town halls in Connecticut. And the other point is that I think it was Durham is the only town that I could see that has both a blue and a gold star,
Mhm.
and they're not on the same site.
Mhm.
So both of those points I think are relevant to the discussion. In other words, the signs are dispersed in the town, which to me makes a certain amount of sense.
Yep.
And the other thing that's interesting in terms of history is that, first of all, the Memorial Town Hall already has monuments. It has a beautiful monument outside. It has the wonderful plaques above the stairway and the lovely painting. But there are other sites that don't have that kind of commemorative marker.
Mhm.
And another argument could be made that it would be an advantage to spread the signs in different locations to draw attention in different places to the people who have served rather than replicating what's already here at the town hall. So I'm interested in, I really like the smaller signs. I'm really grateful that you considered that as an alternative.
Yeah,
And
sure.
so I hadn't seen those until this morning.
Okay.
But I'd love to hear your thoughts about other possible places, and we have some thoughts too.
Sure. And hopefully I can remember all the questions you asked. And Martha should be popping in here. I haven't been a chance to talk with her since Monday. I mean, since Thursday or Friday, but she also had some ideas that I'm not aware of yet. They could be similar, but I don't know. So she'll come in and talk about that. So I think what I'll touch on first is the thought of spreading them out. Yes, I like that idea, more visibility. However, one is Old Lyme's very small and we don't have a lot of options for places to put them. 2, ideally the town will maintain them in cooperation with us, and we don't have a lot of manpower either, like to go all over. It's easier if they were kind of closer together. And so that's kind of why spreading them out is a little hard. Like right now, we don't even have a lot of places to put the ones that we want. So now alternative sites would be the Sill Lane site, which I have a question for you all. I just thought of this on the way in. The witness stones that were put in down there, you didn't have to approve them, right? The church just put them in.
No, we approved.
You did approve them, so you do have approval
No.
on that then.
With the town green is not part of the historic district.
Town green's not. The town green.
The north town green is not.
Is that the one that's closer to Coffee's?
Yeah.
Okay,
No, it's
Sill
where
Lane
the
Green.
Sill Lane and Lime Street split.
yeah.
The property right there is not within the historic district.
So that's where the witness stones are.
Yes.
So we
And so-
approved witness stones in the district, but not elsewhere.
So
Not
there
in
are
that
other
part.
witness stones in the district.
Okay,
So across the street, there's some witness stones there that were in the district, and those were.
okay. So you didn't have to, because I was thinking, I'm like, how do they? I just wanted to make sure I knew which one's still in, because I knew there was another one down by Coffee's. All right, so for that one, that would be one of the other places that we would put them. However, I do feel like it's great space, it's visible. Martha's sort of hang up with that one is just that, like, if people wanted to look at them and see them, it's kind of a dangerous intersection. There is some space, but I mean, people are doing 50 miles per hour down that road. And I mean, I have kids and I would never let them in the car. But yeah, they're visible there and there's space for them, but there's a mashup of history there too. Which I don't feel, if we had to put them there, could we just swallow that sort of like it doesn't seem like it fits, but they're up, probably. They have to go someplace in a civic area or on like federal land or a major not a major highway. A Route 1 is something that it can go on. So
Does it have to be on town property or state property or?
town property,
Federal property.
And federal.
federal property, yeah. So any parks, any civic areas, they can go on. Like for instance, Old Saybrook, I know y'all talked about that across the street. That's actually like a civic area. That's civic parking. The pickleball courts are there. So the selectman was like, we're putting it there. There's a pollinator garden there. So it's nice. There's a bench there you can sit. So it's kind of neat there. It fits. It's a good spot. It's got a lot of visibility. We don't really have any place like that. We talked about Halls Road a little bit, but like Halls Road right now is so questionable. And I don't even know if they would consider Halls Road to be a state road or, because it's really Route 1, that's sort of the driving factor there. So who knows what's going to happen with Halls Road? So it's questionable. There is the over on 156 where the Shore Road is, where we go back to the beaches. There's that like random highway. And it's just so desolate there. It's bizarre. Like, honestly, like, I don't know. And it just seems very sketchy to me. And
Where are you describing? I'm not sure where you're describing.
Sure. So, like if you're heading from Old Lyme to Niantic 156 and you're going, past, you all might know better.
That's White Sands. There's
Yeah.
that, it used to be like a picnic. area.
Yeah, it's like a highway rest area.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Shore Road Rest, it's called.
Right.
Yeah, and I just I don't know what's going on with that. I mean, they could probably go there. I'd have to talk to the state, but that's probably one of the places it could go. Leslie talked about like the beach area, the beaches down by like Hartford Avenue and stuff like that. There's a lot of visibility down there, but there's nothing there's nothing it can go on really, except if it went on 156, if it went on that road somewhere.
What about near the transit stop where that lovely rock is? Have you thought about that?
The transit stop. Oh,
Not sure what you call it, but
And the
you put in
police
a lovely
department.
rock there last
Is it
year,
up?
or, yeah, I think it was last year.
is that in like South Lyme or something?
Oh,
Just-
no,
No, it's, where is
by
it?
the
Right
police
next to the
department,
pizza.
I think, right? Is that where it is? Just before the police station on the left?
Oh,
Heading towards
I'd have to
Niantic.
look at that. Is that owned by the town? Like, is it the town's
I
property?
assume so. The town put the rock in.
Okay, I mean, yeah, I'd have to look at that. I don't know. Did you guys have any other thoughts of where it could go?
No, we understand where that is.
Yes.
If that
It's a
certainly,
possibility.
would be a possibility.
And someone else suggested the new emergency center. Well, it's not new, but the firehouse on, in
Right.
Maysville, north of Coffee's. And that would be another possibility. There's a very strong historic connection between the Old Lyme Fire Department and the Memorial Town Hall. You probably know that the same person who dedicated the town hall is the one who established the fire department. And all the veterans who came back from World War I and World War II, many of them joined the Old Lyme Fire Department. So they're very strong veterans connection. So that would give historical meaning to that. And it's also, I think, on an appropriate byway. And what
Did they have
about
a flagpole
one
there?
last suggestion that I have two more actually.
Yeah,
One is the post office,
Okay.
because whatever happens to Halls Road, the post office is
Mhm.
not going to be
Mhm.
affected, most likely. I mean, it's very.
High traffic
to
to
that.
Yeah.
the post office.
And it's very visible and people could walk up and touch it. And if or see the lower one could go, the smaller one could go near the entrance. It would
Mhm.
seem to me to be appropriate and visible. And the other thing I wondered about is your site next to the blue building, as they call it, on the corner of Halls Road
Oh,
Right.
and Neck Road, where you have a little garden club, nice little garden club site. You plant flowers there, right? It says Duck River Garden Club, I think. Yeah, and that would, yeah, so everybody who comes to town would see it if it were.
Don't get out and touch it, it's not safe.
It's not the large. Yes.
It's, you need safety
Well,
first,
not-
obviously.
Sure, But maybe there's not a large number of people who want to touch it. I mean, looking at it and recognizing it is probably the highest priority.
Well, it would be associated with the Blue Star Highway at that location.
That's right. That would be another historic reason.
1940.
Is it past office? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah,
new
the-
emergency management center,
Right, the new emergency center.
right by Grassy Hill.
Oh, okay. Yeah, right. Yeah, all right. Thank you. I was just trying to envision it.
And one more garden club site is at the intersection of McCurdy Road and the Shore Road. That's another,
Oh, right.
People fly over our site all the time.
Actually, both sites, exit 70 last year got hit and we had to replace all that. Someone hit it. And then also
Okay.
McCurdy, someone drunk.
it was just an
drove
idea. I didn't
Yeah,
realize that. I wasn't aware of that.
Yeah, there's a few places where it's a little dangerous.
Yeah.
But
Do you
lot
guys
of
have
good
a
ideas.
preference if it doesn't work out at town hall? Is there a place that you?
We need to discuss, we need to have a
Yeah.
conversation.
Yeah.
So I think at this point, there's a C of A right now that's submitted for the two signs
Mhm.
at this location. And I think at this point, it would be something that you might want to rescind,
Mhm.
with the idea that one of the scenarios that have been discussed here this morning would be a new C of A. And it could be possibly what you're presenting here, and this is something for the commission to discuss, or it might be another location. But the C of A that's before us right now, I would wonder if that would be something you would consider to withdraw. Or we would have to vote on that. I think we have to vote today on that, correct, Martha? So we would have to vote on that C of A today.
Okay.
If you withdrew it, and then we could have a discussion and then enter a new C of A, then we have more time
Okay.
to
Hash it over.
to
Yeah,
work it through.
okay.
right?
But my guess is you're trying to get the feel for what we are gonna say about
Yeah.
that alternative, because none of the other sites, you have to come to
Right.
us. So
Yeah. So
can
that's
we do that? Maybe just let her know what I think.
Thank
or
you, I
Do we,
appreciate that.
do you want to, we
Well-
wanted to submit a new C of A.
Well, I think that would have to be a new C of A, I believe. I guess the,
I'm happy to resubmit another one. Like whatever the work has to get done, I can do.
John, do you feel like that's the best co-chair?
Well, we do have another C of A, excuse me, we would have to have another C of A, yes, for different locations and different signs.
Right.
If the proposal is to place them in the historic district, David's exactly right. Of course, if they're the other locations that have been mentioned are not in the historic district.
Right.
I don't know. It's up to you, Russ. You're chairing whether you want to entertain general comments so that there's some feedback, even preliminary, about the feasibility of, from our perspective, of putting the
Right.
new signs at the town hall.
Well, so if we proceeded with comments on the current C of A, that's one thing. It's another to rescind the C of A and then have general comments, right? And
Well, I mean, it's all if you're, I don't know.
okay,
We could, I think in a public hearing about the signs, we would be allowed
just want to
to
follow the right
voice
procedure,
our
that's all.
opinion about other possibilities.
Okay,
So-
Your preference would be to have them in front of the town hall, correct?
I think that historical connection, and I do understand that there's a historic connection at the fire department. I'm happy to look at that too, but yes, I think it would be lovely here.
And you don't want to spend a whole lot of time if you're not going to have it approved here, so.
Right.
all right. So I think what I'd like to do then, for John's comment, let's proceed to general discussion, and then so amongst the commissioners.
Also, I can I wasn't able to do it because of the snow, but I'm happy to mark up a idea of what it would look like along the front, the trees, did it like with ChatGPT, how I did the picture so you can visualize it a little bit better, and send that to you through email if that's helpful for your next meeting.
Yeah, that could be part of the new C of A.
Yes, okay.
So with all this in mind,
Okay, Martha's coming down too. Boy.
with all this in mind, comments on how we'd like to proceed and thoughts.
I think the suggestion, I think that most of the commission, although we haven't voted and we could vote, probably are not in favor of the larger signs next to the tree, which is what your current C of A requests. So therefore, it seems to me a good suggestion that you withdraw that C of A, or we can vote on it as you. I think my guess is that we would probably not approve it.
Okay,
The current C of A, but we're very respectful of your, at least I am, I'll speak for myself, very respectful of your idea of a smaller sign mounted on a rock in a different location, which is certainly, we still haven't really discussed that. I
Yeah.
think it's a very interesting suggestion.
okay.
I think Russ was asking us to discuss that
That,
now, and then with the understanding that you're gonna rescind.
Yeah, I'll resend and I'll then put another CAFA through with pictures, details, all the things that are needed for that.
And if we can't discuss.
I think
it
that's
without
great.
the
And then in the next meeting, maybe we can discuss some of the alternative locations, because I didn't know the danger of the, McCurdy Road intersection. I wasn't aware of that, but it had been a problem. We could discuss that, and we could also discuss the smaller signs.
well, I think the question is that she's asking is, should she come back with a new C of A with the town hall submission? Or is that something that we're not wanting, that we would not entertain necessarily, or that we feel like it wouldn't be approved? And then she would begin to consider other locations.
Yeah.
So I think that's the question that we're being asked
Yeah.
without a vote.
Yeah.
Is it something that the commissioners would be willing to entertain? Not saying that you have to vote to approve because you haven't seen it yet, but is it something that we should, that we would advise that you would submit a new C of A?
Hate to put everybody on the spot, but it's just time, it's time sensitive in a way too.
I like the idea of the smaller ones on the rock, but I really like the idea of the new emergency management center, bringing focus to that. That was a town vote, I believe. There was a town vote for that. It's a brand new building. I think it has a flagpole. It's outside of the district. I think that's
Okay, yeah,
I think that's a very, I didn't even think of that. I think it's a very good location. It's a new building in town. It's a beautiful new building. Everybody voted on it and, paid for it kind of thing. So I think myself that I like that location.
Okay,
My only comment is, well, two comments. I can't offer an opinion on the town hall new location with the new size signs until I see it. I just need to see something that puts it all together. I do, in a sense, second Deb's comment. I may have this wrong, but one thing for you to consider is of the various alternative spots we've talked about, what's going to maximize the visibility. I mean, not a ton of people come into the town hall. Yeah, they drive down Lime Street, but especially if there's a location along a road that gets traffic, or you have a spot where people are going in or out of a building like the post office, you're going to get more visibility for the commemoration.
Yeah, say something. The sign where our site has plants around it is one of the most photographed locations in Old Lyme. It does get foot traffic, and when people do come to Old Lyme, they like to take a picture in front of that sign. So that would get good visibility.
The town hall sign, you're saying,
Right,
yeah.
right here, the town, yes. old lines.
The old historic marker.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I would just have to disagree, John. We have between 50 and 60 people that walk through town hall every single day. And when the nice weather, first of all, walking by town hall, there must be 50 to 60 people who just walk Lime Street every day, even with the snow and the cold. And I can see it through my window. During the summer, it's even more so. And there, you would not believe the number of people who take the historic districts walking tour brochure from here. The tourists that come, they do that. They do the witness stones. They're up and down Lime Street and they're stopping and they read the signs everywhere along. We've had people come in to look at the memorials on the walls. We're very visible here in town, flying on Lime Street.
Martha, I think you had told Leslie that you had some ideas of alternative places, and that's sort of what we were kind of talking.
I think it needs to go back to the Board of Selectmen in 2 weeks.
Okay,
If you're gonna do an alternate, if you're doing an alternate sign or an alternate site, we just need to discuss it further. I'm not
Okay.
gonna make a recommendation at this point in time.
okay. So,
And I missed part of this, so.
yeah.
Sorry.
No.
Budget week. So,
So I think from you guys is what, like, I appreciate like the thought about what else here. There's some ideas that we didn't think about. And I feel like for us, it's like we are able to sort of figure that out in a way with Martha and the selectmen, because then we would be sort of not having to have you guys involved in it, which, so I think I would rescind the initial application, maybe at the next meeting when you have some more visuals and some more thought about it, you can say yay or nay. But I think the next meeting would be one where we would really need to know, like, can we do this or not?
Vote at that point.
Right. And in the interim, we would also be kind of working towards some other ideas. So
You are gonna submit a new survey with the alternate newer.
yes,
sign. I think
yes,
that-
I might even be able to get you a mock-up of one. How fun would that be? Like a cardboard piece that you can just, you know what I mean? Like,
Carry a rocket.
oh, I could. I mean, if that's what I need to do, then.
It would be helpful to kind of have a representation of the sign with the
Right.
garden.
Absolutely.
Town halls of size and scale, and so.
Right. And I'll do my best to get that done. Hopefully the snow will melt. If it doesn't, I can find another picture to mark that up, and sort of see what we can come up with. And just so you know, it's not going to look exactly the way the picture is because it is ChatGPT. So, but yeah, I just would hope maybe when we come back, if I give you fair enough notice, like I can even get the coffin to you earlier. I realize that you guys are volunteers and this is like on your own time, that you can just be able to say to us yes or no so that we can move on. I think we would appreciate that if that's
I
a
think it-
possibility.
I think it really has to be discussed at a meeting because people make a decision based on the input at the time. So I would love to be able to give you a yes or no without the full commission, but I don't think that's.
Oh, not right now.
No, I'm saying even
Oh,
between
next,
now and
no.
the next meeting.
Okay.
I think we need to receive the materials
Yeah,
as a new C of A. And then if you like, now you have the option to not choose this location, but if you're wanting to choose the town hall with the new proposed sign, we need a new C of A.
Yeah.
We'd have to discuss it and review it at that point in time.
okay, at the next meeting. Okay. And then at that next meeting, so where does the public comment fall into all this? Because I know that typically if you're going to approve or disapprove, you have to have a public comment. So is that going to like,
That's what we were just having. So it would be part of this, part of the
Application.
application. Yeah.
right?
So
So,
there's a notice of the C of
Public
A
comment.
there's a notice of the agenda.
yeah.
And then as we're discussing this, that would be the public comment.
Okay. So next week would be next month would be the public.
Oh,
comment.
yes.
Okay. I just wanted
Yeah,
to,
yeah.
I didn't know if it would have to go another month for public comment.
No.
Okay. Okay.
We should make sure you're aware of the deadline for submitting the C of A in timely fashion because a new public hearing requires legal advertisement, and Martha can fill you in on the sort of drop dead date for getting the C of A submitted so that we
Okay.
have time
Oh.
to advertise it before the next meeting.
So I'm actually not going to be able to submit it until I get Martha's signature on it, which is going to be at the next Board of Selectmen meeting. And I don't know when that is. I think it's next Monday,
I think she said 2 weeks.
2 weeks. So it
So
will,
that's before.
so 2 weeks from now
Yeah.
is when
Yeah,
it could
We
get.
can work with that.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. Okay,
Okay.
so I guess you're officially rescinding.
Yes, I will officially rescind however I need to do that.
I think that's all you need to do.
Okay.
Right.
Do you guys have anything else more? Anything? Okay.
Thank you for.
Thank you guys. I appreciate it.
Consideration.
Yeah, for sure. Thanks. Okay.
All right.
Good luck with the lights.
So it's 100 Lime Street. I think they said that they're not going to make
They
it.
can't make it. Yeah,
So
so we can
I-
continue the public hearing.
let's continue
again.
the hearing.
Yeah,
I do have a little feedback from Eric Knapp. I don't know if you want me to relay that now, so or just pass it on separately to Alicia before the next
Let's do
public
it
hearing.
separately, Don. Yeah, let's do it separately. Yeah, let's move on to 84
Okay.
Lime Street. Yeah. Just because we're running behind a little bit, if that's okay. So 84 Lime Street, Lime Academy of Fine Arts dumpster. Morning.
Morning. How we doing?
Good, good.
I'm Wendy Berry, I'm the managing director.
Dave Dombrowski, facilities manager.
Great.
Good to see you.
So maybe you could just describe to the commission. We received the C of A, but maybe describe what you're proposing.
Yeah, sure. Just really quick backstory. We currently have on the other side of campus, well out of the historic district zone, dumpster and our recycling. And with a lot of the exciting growth we've had, students, we now need some waste management on the other side of campus. It's been requested that it is a small unit, not like the main one that we use for all of our main garbage. This would be specific to the sculpture program that's over there, and there is some drawing as well, painting and drawing. So I did attach, you guys, looks like everyone has it. I did attach just kind of a general idea of this 2-yard dumpster, roughly 2-yard dumpster size that we're looking at, and the location. What is up in the air is and open to interpretation is what we would use to shield, cover, screen that dumpster.
It's right in front of the transformer.
Yeah, I was gonna ask that question. Can you place the dumpster right in front of the transformer?
Yeah, I asked our
Access.
electrician, and he said it was okay as long as it was like 3 feet.
3 feet.
Um,
Okay. So basically the bicycle stand would be moved. It would be 3 feet away from the transformer, kind of in that little pad area right there.
Yeah, there's a potential that, maybe a part of the curb would have to come out or something, but in that area, yeah.
And how would you propose to screen it? If you were to screen the dumpster, because this is visible from Lime Street.
Yes, yeah.
it's visible on the way into campus, so we
Yeah.
obviously want it to be pretty as well.
Yeah,
The idea was to put plantings. We don't have a lot of fences, or we don't really have any fences or those kind of screenings like white or wood fencing anywhere. So I was hesitant to go that route because then you're just putting a bigger box on top of a box. It's making something that's ugly even larger. Open to that if that's the answer. So the screening with some kind of plantings was the idea. It's a little difficult, I suppose. I've walked it. There is a few areas that it would not be 100% covered by plantings, no matter where you walk. But it's again, that's why kind of we're here to.
how would you, I'm just looking, because this is,
Mhm.
is this gravel or paved?
Paved.
Yeah.
It's paved. So I guess the question is, I'm trying to envision where would the plantings go?
Yes, so the photo,
Right, because is this a pad or is that just a curb that's white?
just a curb. Yeah,
Okay, so
it's
could it go beyond the curb?
absolutely, absolutely. So the idea was, and you guys don't have color, this photo here, my excellent art skills, I drew in some plantings here with the red being the dumpster. So if it meant the dumpster had to be recessed back past that curb cut another 3 feet in order to have more plantings, give more screening, great, we'll do that.
And then they could still access it without,
Yeah, it's just showing the area, whatever we needed to do to screen, if we had to move back another few feet, whatever it
It'd be
was.
nice to screen the
This jets out
transformer
there.
too.
Yeah.
while you're at it.
Already got an eyesore there.
So this area that juts out, that's the opportunity to plant stuff, right? And how long do you think that area is?
It's 4 feet
Okay,
or something
okay.
like that. It's not a lot.
Yeah.
So the question would be if, we might have to go back, so, which is fine.
Does it hurt the tree to go, how close is that tree to?
It's actually, no, that should be fine. Yeah, we should be okay there.
And it's flat there. It kind of looks like it slopes up, but that's flat, right?
That's behind it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a little bit flat there. It does slope up pretty quick, but yeah, there is some room there, but
So it's 3 feet deep, 6 feet wide. It looks like you might have to get a 3-foot distance from the transformer and the 6-foot dimension. You might have to take some of that curve out anyway.
yeah.
Yeah, to pull it towards Lime Street a little bit.
Yes, yep. I kind of think that's probably that was the thought.
And could you explain, just to help us visualize, you said the plantings would not cover all of it. Could you explain how
Yeah.
much of it the plantings would cover?
So I think pushing it back, if we had to remove the rear curb cut and push the dumpster back, it would give us more room to have more plantings on the street side.
Right.
So that would probably cover most of all of it, I would think.
From Lime Street, it's going to cover the majority of it. It's as you start to enter campus that you just can't get around that space there. So
Yeah.
that's the part he's talking about, that we wouldn't be able to cover that in front of it, facing the interior
The
sidewalks.
view from.
Yeah.
So
I would imagine
When-
if you're in the front yard of Sill House on property looking, there might be a case where there would be some visual if you were looking for it. But from the street, the goal would be,
So would the plantings go, I'm still not clear where the plantings would go.
they would just,
Go on the street side, I mean, the Lime Street facing side, but what about the sides?
it would only be the street side.
Yeah.
So this is so Lime Street is over here.
Okay,
And so if this is a jut out, you can see this is,
Right.
like you said, about 4 feet. So
Right.
plantings would go here. And if we push this back further,
Right.
then you'd be able to cover more from Lime Street. But as you're standing here inside of campus, you're well within campus, you'd still
Okay.
be able to see it.
I see.
So only one side of it
So
would
the
be,
The Lime Street
Only
side
the
would be
front.
basically.
Is needed,
If
is
it were
needed.
pushed
Yeah.
back,
If it was pushed back, then we can do a little bit longer. So this is about 4 feet right now, that kind of cut that comes out. So this goes like this and then over. So there's space there to automatically put some linings this way, some plantings this way. But if we go further back, you'll have a longer fence for that in terms of plantings.
right,
But you'll never get anything, obviously.
right,
In
that's
front
what
of
I was,
And that's the inside of campus. So right now you're literally on the main entrance walkway.
right,
You're almost perpendicular to Lime Street there.
right.
In order to shield it from campus, you would have to put almost like a gate.
Right.
Right.
It'd have to be an
Yeah.
enclosure.
Mhm.
I guess the question is an enclosure necessary, or do we feel like a screening with vegetation is sufficient? Would be the.
I have a question.
Yes,
When was the C of A for the transformer approved?
No idea.
when the place was built,
So it's in the 80s
That-
that building was built.
that actually is probably going off of what's in the building next to it. That's the main line coming in. So,
Campus.
yeah, that would probably be
1984.
original 80, yeah, mid 80s.
Mhm.
Well, that's after the historic district was created. So I think we should consider the package of both of them. If there is no C of A for the transformer, we need to talk about that as well.
Yeah, I think you're right, John. I think the the screening, ideally, whether it's an enclosure or a vegetation should attempt to screen the dumpster and the transformer. You're not gonna probably relocate the transformer.
Not gonna happen.
Not gonna happen.
But we can certainly plant, having plantings that are taller and wider to make
Right.
it so that you can screen as much as possible from Lime Street.
Because the transformer appears to be about 5 or 6 feet, where the dumpster is 3 feet tall. In other words, the transformer is taller.
It is, yeah.
So if theoretically, you could screen the dumpster with some object that's 3 to 4 feet tall, but then you're missing the transformer. So the question is, do we go ahead and try to screen the transformer too?
And that would be like a gate or something, right?
It could
that
be.
includes
It could
both
be.
of them.
It's either a structure or it's vegetation.
I'm just not sure how close we can plant things to the transformer. I know you
Yeah.
really, yeah, it's not gonna be an easy,
No, I think the screen for the dumpster would have to be the same screen. It's like one screen that's screening
right.
Lime Street site to the dumpster and the transformer. That's kind of how I see it.
I think that's possible to do plantings from Lime Street. So, down this whole line here, that could be high enough and wide enough to cover up both without doing a gate. I do worry about having a gate there, meaning it just is for the company to come in once we can pick up, for the students who have to put things in there all the time. That would not be a preference of ours, but I think we can cover it sufficiently from Lime Street. It just won't be covered from the interior side.
And it's not, I mean, often we get questions about utility equipment in front of historic structures. And the screening would be very limited in screening the structure behind. And because both structures are in the district. So it's something for the commission to think about. I mean, it seems to me that it's not significantly impacting views to the building that's behind there, whether you want that to happen or not. And I'm just talking about precedent. We've had other situations where we've had utility equipment right at the front, and we wouldn't want to put a tall screen because it's not only screening the utility equipment, but also screening the historic.
Actually, yeah, sure.
Well, I don't know. I mean,
So it's.
I don't know that we mind covering up more of it's a 1980s, so I don't, it's not like the Sill House, right? But,
I said people could decide whether or not they needed that or not.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, there's mid-century modern, now there's 1980.
Sure.
Yeah, I guess the thought was that if the plantings, that they would do a nicer job, that I think a fence there is gonna, not that I'm not, the only reason I'm opposed to it is it's just actually drawing more attention to the dumpster by showing a structure that doesn't coincide with anything else on campus, because we don't have any other gates or fencing, white or wood. So it would just kind of look like this big square that was kind of awkward. If that's what needs to happen, I mean, we need to cover it. That's fine.
We ask you to come back and with an actual depiction of the screening that you're going to use. I think we've determined you have to have some screening. You're going to get that. Do we want more?
Well, I'd ask the commissioners if they feel like how you feel at this point.
We don't have a motion yet.
Well, I think I respect your suggestion that vegetation would be more consistent with the rest of the site, and that's certainly an important consideration. It's hard for me to still. Maybe we should talk about how adequate the planting would be to conceal the. If we all think that the planting is the first choice, if it can do the job, maybe we need to discuss whether the planting could really do the job. What would the planting be? Where would it well, you showed me sort of where it would go, but perhaps we could have a drawing with the location of the dumpster if it were moved back, if the curb were moved back, and if it were moved back, and where the plantings would
How
go.
many
And
plant, yep.
perhaps, I mean, I'm sure you'd look for evergreen plantings because you wouldn't want it to be visible in the winter. So
So we could do an image from the street so that you're seeing that way rather than inside campus.
Yeah.
Okay. So we'll do that. That's easy enough for us to do. So we'll come back with that.
Does everybody feel like a vegetative approach is more appropriate than a structured? Yes. Okay. So if you could, I think that's a request and we'll carry the
Great.
motion to the next meeting
Okay.
and if you can bring that.
Sure.
Will
John?
can the motion be amended without refiling to cover also approval of the transformer? I mean, that's
yeah,
a big
I get it, yeah.
mechanical. We are required to approve mechanicals. It apparently has never been approved.
Yeah, well, maybe. Yeah, just add that this is a dumpster and transformer screen they're requesting, they're not requesting approval to place the transformer there. I guess, or maybe they are.
Well,
And
if it hasn't been
SCFA.
approved, we should have something on record showing that it's
I reckon it's showing
been
that it has.
approved.
Yeah,
You were asking if we could just make an amendment right now or ask them to amend
Yeah.
it.
And
The
I don't know
CFA.
the answer. I don't know the answer to that, whether that's sufficiently like the dumpster, or do we have to have a new C of
I
A
think-
that includes both of them and re-advertise?
I think maybe,
Right on the C of A. I think.
maybe I think when we vote on it, when we make the motion, John, can a commissioner not make a motion to state that the screening for the dumpster will be sized and appropriate to screen the transformer as well?
Yeah, but my
Because-
question is, do we approve the transformer? How can you approve the transformer?
Well, it's
Without
Barbara
it.
just had a suggestion.
Yeah, yeah.
What did you
Yeah,
suggest?
I would recommend just adding the transformer to your C of A.
Are we
Because you still
comfortable?
have-
Are we comfortable that the legal advertisement is it close enough so that it covers both? I mean, we can't. If somebody comes in with a C of A for a new sign, and then they come in and say, and we also want to have a fence, we can't say, oh, let's just add the fence because it hasn't been advertised.
We would, yeah.
But John, we don't know that the transformer wasn't approved as part of the overall campus. When the building was built.
And then we're talking about a C of A for one screen that is gonna happen to also
Right.
screen the. So I'm
I did,
comfortable.
I guess I would be more comfortable if we have some way to go back and check whether in fact the transformer in fact was approved. If it was
if the
not,
plot
I would be
plan-
more comfortable having a C of A that approves both the dumpster and the transformer and the screening on the condition that there's some screening.
Right. Yeah, if the plot plan shows the transformer, which I'm sure what was submitted to town hall at the time would have included infrastructure. And maybe we could verify that, then that would have been approved at that point in time.
It would have been approved, it certainly would have been approved by zoning, but I don't know about.
I'm sure this,
I mean,
when
we
this
certainly can
building
go
was
back and check,
built-
we certainly can go back and check the HDC records, yes?
Can one amend, well, I guess that's the very question. You can't amend your C of A as you understand it, John. To just say,
Well-
okay, we're doing this one and we'd like to.
Well,
go
because
to-
the
I don't
advertisement
know
said
the
just
answer,
the
I don't
dumpster.
know the answer, David. It's a good
Well,
point
I'm
you
just
you
trying to,
raise. I think in general, you can't come in with one C of A for one thing and then say, oh, now we
Yeah.
want to add
Yeah, well,
another
add
and you haven't
this.
advertised it. But maybe this
Right,
is
yeah.
close enough so that we can just amend it. I don't know the answer to that.
like I said, they're just seeking one screening.
One
It just happens to cover both items.
Yeah.
But they're just trying to get these people out of here. Do we send them home? Do we make them get a C of A? Just go ahead, do a new C of A to cover our bases that says transformer and
But
dumpster.
can we, if we're gonna keep this going, then why wouldn't we just be able to provide additional information that shows the screening, an illustration from the street that then would show that covers it? You would see that
It
happens to cover
happens.
the
Well,
transformer.
Well, I would say that's the
Right.
very issue.
Yeah.
Is-
So
so-
right away, it happens to cover
Right.
transfer.
Yeah, look at that. You used to
It
see this
happens
and now
to
you
do.
can't see either.
Okay.
That's what we're trying to decide here. We
Yeah,
just feel-
but my
That's what I saw.
My point is different. If the transformer itself has never been approved, we need to approve the transformer.
Yeah, but I,
Understand the point.
We don't
understand
know
the
that it
point.
was.
So
or
let's,
wasn't.
what is the way to resolve this for now? Because we are behind schedule.
Right,
Well,
submit
for
a
now,
new
I
one.
would say, we do some homework and maybe Martha can find out what was in fact approved in 1980. And if a transformer was never approved, then file another C of A for that, come in. I mean, there's no fee, it's for you because you're a nonprofit. And then at the next meeting, we can approve the transformer
it's-
and the dumpster and the screening.
John, I think it should be a part of the motion by whoever makes the motion at the next meeting, that the screening will shield the dumpster and the transformer. I would feel certain that when this project was built, the Historic District Commission would have reviewed the entire project and this infrastructure would have been a part of that. Now, we can check our records to see to see if it was actually on the drawings. I can't imagine that it's not, but I think it's,
Having
it's not
looked,
like they're adding, it's not like the transformer hasn't been here for 30 years and they're
Right.
adding.
It's not like this is a new
Exactly.
Right.
mechanical,
40 years.
like,
40.
this is
I-
part of
I-
the structure, this is part of the
I
construction.
So it's all, this is
understand.
all hinging on a hypothetical. What if
Right.
I mean, we're going to this long discussion based on a total conjecture. Maybe this wasn't approved 30 years ago, but I don't think we really need to go into that.
Exactly.
Let's just move forward with what
Right.
we're doing right now and get this dumpster approved and have the
The screening,
And we'll do our homework and double check.
I think we're all united on that.
right.
Closer to
I
50
will
years.
say, and I'm gonna,
50 years, yeah, 50 years, thank you.
I appreciate, I was on the same page. I saw where you guys were going. I appreciate it. The one one problem I think, with adding the utility is the dumpster is movable to accommodate our needs for screening. The utility is really not.
Yeah.
So if we put up 15 trees and we and move around the curb cutting and move the dumpster, and we have this great solution for that, I don't know, I have to be completely honest, I don't know that we're able to accomplish that with the utility as well, with everything that was just said. Again, I appreciate where we went, but I don't know now adding that kind of screening will
Then you would
work.
have to do the cut of the pavement and all of that in front of it, you're saying.
Correct. And
You'd be
right.
putting the whole thing out.
Right, and then plantings, you're not allowed to plant like next to the utility.
No, I think it's one screen of vegetation.
Yes.
That's the hope, right?
That's blocking both is the goal.
Right.
Okay, so high enough and wide enough.
The size
Great.
of the specimens that you use will.
We'll give it a whirl. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah.
The density and
Evergreen.
evergreen.
Mhm.
yes.
Yeah, sure.
We're
That
certainly
works for all
trying to
of us, yeah.
accomplish the same. We're on
Yeah.
our end too, yeah.
Okay, so
Okay,
we'll get you that drawing.
great. Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay,
You find it helpful? Do you want some color?
yeah,
And
that
then
would be
ones-
great. if we could
Yeah,
keep that.
there's a few sets of stuff. The color helped me at least. So.
Thanks. Have a good one.
Thank you.
You too.
Thanks for the time.
Alrighty,
Thank you.
thank you.
Oh, you talked about my idea of having the students paint the tunnel, the highway tunnel.
They would love it.
Right?
Yeah.
Anybody want to?
We need to think about maybe approaching the highway department. But when it's such a dark area of town,
It's,
when you walk through, and then it could be an art project. I don't know how to do that.
kind of put some cohesiveness with the art association and all.
It's an idea. It's just an idea.
I'm happy to talk about it.
We're thinking about planters perhaps on the outside on each side.
Also, we want graffiti artists, right?
It's kind of a dank space.
Exactly. Old
Actually, some of it's pretty,
old line graffiti artists. Yeah. Okay, public hearing 84 Lime Street.
That was that.
Thank you.
Oh,
Yeah, we're done.
oh,
with
that's
that.
oh, we're done.
Yeah,
Uh,
and this is just the 46
Propane
Lime
tank
Street walkway
driveway.
discussion.
oh, yeah, the 46 Lime Street walkway. Yeah.
So I have those things to.
Yeah,
hand out.
Who lives at 46?
Is that right across the street?
Is this a C of A?
That's Barbara Trasco's,
Oh, yeah.
where Barbara
This-
Trasco,
This
right
side
next
of the
door.
street, Then just beyond the driveway.
Now,
Right
Yes.
now.
Martha, this did not come in time for this meeting,
Right.
so we're not actually,
No, there's no public hearing. It's just a preliminary
this is
discussion.
the preliminary discussion.
Yeah.
Right here.
Thank
I think it could be useful for people at this discussion to note places where where the commission would want some additional information, and then we could provide feedback to the property
Right.
owner. I think there's a notation saying the company that's planning to do this work could come in with more particular designs. I mean, I certainly would want to know, especially about the driveway, whether the proposed asphalt is replacing a non-asphalt driveway or not. If it's just redoing an existing asphalt driveway, then it's kind of grandfathered in. But I mean, there's that, and then just in general, you know, the specifics we usually ask for about dimensions and width and type of stone and all of that.
So they're doing a sidewalk, changing it to bluestone. There's a propane tank. And is there a distance requirement of a propane tank from a window or siding?
5 feet, something like that.
Yeah, so
And-
we need to understand. We need the dimension of the propane tank and its actual siding that meets the code requirement.
And
I-
also,
I-
Russ, whether it could be moved further back. Does the
Right.
propane tank have to be as close to Lime Street, or could it be moved back to the corner beside the driveway?
And whoever is doing the propane, they will be working within the guidelines, so.
Right, but we need to understand its location relative to screening.
Right.
But I agree, Carolyn, does it
And
need to
maybe it could
be?
even
close
go
to-
behind. I mean, if
So
it is
it
on a
would
hill.
be right there
Yeah, it's right here.
on that
It's right
side.
here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is house right here, yeah. And then the asphalt driveway, is it existing? And then, existing garage. I think that's it, right?
What is the driveway, that asphalt, is that gravel now to that garage?
I don't know, we need to understand.
There's nothing. It's just grass.
here.
Oh, it's just grass.
But you can't
Yeah.
see it.
There's no snow.
I know
You
you can't see
paint anything,
because of the
right?
snow.
Yeah, it's snowed over right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's no,
between
no
the house and
driveway.
the Spears
There's no
garage.
driveway. No. There's no driveway part across the back of the house.
Oh, so this is actually a new cut.
Yes, there's the asphalt going down the side, if you look at the picture.
This,
And then part that goes
Yes.
across, because there's a
The
little
garage is in the back.
garage.
Yeah.
Right in the back.
Yes.
Built into the hill.
Why would they want to make it asphalt?
I
Well,
think we pretty consistently refused to approve new asphalt driveways.
Yeah.
And that should be
Right.
communicated.
Correct.
If it's not a repair of an existing asphalt driveway that's grandfathered in, I for one would have problems with asphalt.
Mhm.
Mhm.
But
Right.
now does the, can you see it from Lime Street rule take effect? Because it's down the hill behind the house.
I think you probably would,
You can see it from a public place, which is town hall.
Ah, very good.
right?
And the parking lot in the town hall. I often stand back there.
Yeah.
And contemplate the Spears building.
Okay.
That's important. So if we're gonna turn down the asphalt, we ought to let them know.
They do say replace greenery and shrubs. Do we have any other landscape requirements in front of the house? Not.
Well,
not-
we really, I don't think, act specifically on general landscaping. Our concern with shrubbery is if there's a need to screen some mechanicals or some other structure.
Okay.
But we haven't been in the business of rendering opinions on what particular plants someone can
My,
have in
my
their
only
yard.
thought was, do we ever consider, like, what if somebody wanted to completely screen the front of a historic structure?
Right.
That's a good question.
I mean, when I moved into my house, you couldn't see the house from the road. We actually removed, the yew bushes were so tall, people didn't realize there was a house there. So, I don't know, is that something
Good question.
we should consider?
Maybe
or
we
not?
should, in our guidelines, maybe should consider that.
Just related to being able to see the historic structure. I don't, it's something to think about. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point, Russ.
Okay,
Well,
any other requests? Martha, did you take
Are
notes?
we
on
okay
that?
on the Bluestone driveway, just to, I mean, the Bluestone walkway, just to give them,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah, we need specific dimensions and things like
Yeah.
that.
Kind of a sample or an image of the, yeah. And also, is there are there stairs or steps into the house?
A couple of steps.
Yeah, and is that gonna be replaced as part of the
because there's a screen
Walkway.
porch. isn't there?
Yes,
Right.
there's a
Yeah.
porch as
Right.
well.
right? So in other words, does this bluestone, is there anything at the transition between the bluestone and the screen porch occurring? Any details on that? And is there any lighting or illumination associated with the new walkway? I expect not. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Proposed zoning regulations, John? That's you.
Yeah, and thanks for those of you who made comments. This is a reworking in the form of a proposed memo to the zoning commission. It focuses on issues that the HTC is concerned about. I think everything directly or indirectly relates to historic structures. I left out a couple things that were on the table with the last draft because I thought, for example, that the zoning regulations had eliminated the provision for a wayfaring sign at the end of the 95 exit ramp. They just moved it to another place. I mean, we could go on, but I don't, for the most part, I think we don't need to nitpick about that current language. They're not changing it. If and when there is a proposal for a wayfaring sign, we can weigh in on it. So, real quickly, the boldface headings highlight the the various topics, under purposes. The thought is that they could be more specific in picking up on language from the POCD about the importance of historic preservation. There is no definition of historic district in the zoning regs, even though the term is used, and the definition of historic structure, which Russ looked at carefully and thought was very appropriate, as it's written, only applies to one section of the zoning regs and not throughout the zoning regs. It gets into a little bit of the weeds about recognition of HDC authority. The current provision recognizing HDC authority is, this is the first bullet point, should be amended, but that section, because of those technical reasons, I think. But the bigger point is that the recognition of HDC authority right now only exists in the section about signage. And my thought was that it would be helpful to a reader to have that appear generally, rephrased so it generally applies to structures of all types, not just signs. On the Gateway Conservation Zone, I wrote Suzanne Thompson to see if she had any other specific ideas about structures in the Gateway Conservation Zone, which overlaps the historic district. I have not heard back. I think the bullet points there just point out that their definition of the Gateway Conservation Zone and the Connecticut River is a bit muddled, and we would want a clear understanding that the definition of the Gateway Conservation Zone includes the whole conservation zone, not just the river. Illumination, I'll leave to Russ to explain. I think he did kind of highlight earlier that one concern is with properties outside the historic district that shine light into the district. And the last item is really kind of a detail, but they talked specifically about historic preservation in special permits, and I thought that language could be strengthened.
The one comment on illumination that I want everybody to be aware of is that zoning is also looking at a phase 2 to this zoning update. And part of that, there is a old line proposed blight ordinance. And within that ordinance, they have added illumination language that is much more stringent. And not only about the color temperature and shielding, but actually a light level at the property line. Just like you take a sound level measurement at a property line, there is a limit to the light level, and it's like 1 candle, 1 foot candle or something like that. So that if you have a neighbor, just like we heard, if you have a neighbor that's receiving light, you could actually measure the amount of light that you're receiving. That's not in the current proposal, but it's something that, as we're looking at our lighting or requirements, we might want to consider. And the request here is to support that, and then also use language similar to language about the Gateway Commission about light bleed to the rivers. So again, outside the district coming into the district, and that's the illumination section.
Would the property have to be deemed blighted in order for them to invoke those illumination?
Well, see, that's the question. I'm not sure their purpose of the illumination in the blight ordinance, and whether or not that lighting illumination language is in general for the zoning, but it's not in this phase 1. So I thought we should support that because it's the kind of language that we're talking about and that's being raised right here. So I think it's a hot topic. Yeah. Any comments or questions or changes on this for John
And Russ.
and myself? No.
Well, thank you for doing the work here.
I thought bringing up the point about the railroad and potential impact on the historic district was a good, strong point there.
Yeah. Why don't we let, when did we send this out to the commission and when does it need to go into the zoning? What's the drop dead date to issue this?
Well, I think it just has to be
A week
sent
ahead?
before their meeting, but David made a good point earlier that it probably would be, it probably would get attention if it's sent earlier rather than later.
Yeah.
We'd want to get it there in time for people to read and digest. The other question is whether David or someone else wants to appear at the meeting and just highlight or emphasize a few points from this so that our main points at least appear in the public record and are not just conveyed in a document that the zoning commission has but would not be part of the minutes.
Right.
The zoning
The meeting
minutes.
is the 9th, correct, is what?
Correct. Next week.
Yeah. Next week.
9th.
Yeah. You want it?
Well, I'm going to be there for a presentation about the cemetery. Carolyn's going to be there as well.
What time is it on the 9th?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's 6:30.
So maybe it would be good to give everybody just a day or two, if folks haven't looked at this, to look at it and see if there's any other adjustments. And then John, a summary, like bullet points for whoever's presenting, whether it's David, myself, Carolyn, Ed, whoever's presenting, that kind of a bullet point summary. And maybe it's just going through the different items, but I think that would be helpful.
I can do that. If you all could have any other technical corrections, I've already spotted one minor grammatical thing to fix, but I'm hoping today we can say that these comments represent the view of the full commission. I think that carries more weight than it just being, well, I mean, I think we need to have this be a commission statement.
How do you want that to happen, John? Do you want a motion or just?
I think
discussion?
a motion would be appropriate, that the commission approves comments about the proposed zoning regulations subject to technical corrections or something like that. Or
I'll
just
make that
approves it.
motion.
I don't know how you'd phrase it.
Martha, did you get it? Because it'd be easier than my trying to restate it, but I'd like to make the motion, John. You can provide the exact language. I'd like to make the motion that you're in accordance with the language that you just provided.
That's a good way to do it. Yes. In accordance with, I think, would accommodate any minor technical changes that don't change the meaning.
Do we have a second for that?
Second.
Ed seconds. Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Aye.
Aye.
So it's approved. And then, John, I think a summary, like just a bullet point summary of the key points that somebody speaking would be helpful. And it may be that, I don't know, I need to look at my schedule so I can attend, but if not, will you be there?
I can do it.
Yeah, then David can do it. Yeah. All right. Secretary's report. Martha.
Yes, so we have 16, we're monitoring 16 situations in the historic district. The main one, there's a list which I put in the minutes. I don't think I need to go through and read everything on the list. But we are focused right now on 36 Lime Street. The railings by the front door, the C of A for that has expired. Those were approved as temporary. And we have sent emails and a letter to Jocelyn Zallinger asking her to please remove them or else apply to have them approved again. And Eric Knapp has been copied on all of that. She appears to be away because her driveway, when I drove past the house last week, her driveway's not plowed. So I don't think she's there. So anyway, that's our main thing that we're looking at. And also the center school door that they installed without the transom glass and side lights. I have not gotten any response from Silver Petroselli on that. They were supposed to have the transom and the side lights approved with some kind of bulletproof glass or something, and they just didn't put that in, and I'm not sure why.
Who were you contacting, Martha, about that?
Silver Petroselli is the architect.
Is
the
who?
architectural firm. Silver Petroselli.
I would urge you to remind them again, but also contact whoever the point person is at the school and say, we're really concerned that the installation took place without complying with the C of A.
Yeah.
I mean, they're the ones who can press the architectural firm and take steps to fix it, the issue.
Yeah.
Is it the same person that's responsible for the lighting?
The superintendent. He's an advisor.
Superintendent.
Facilities, right?
He's the guy.
Well, I'm just wondering if the next new business discussion is doing.
Call him in here?
Yeah.
I think, yeah, so. But yeah, just going to the architect is probably not enough. We need to bring it to the school's attention, yeah.
And
I can check with the facilities guy too.
And you might call Martha, and if you don't get a response within a week, send a letter and copy Eric. I mean, this is, we actually have had, or I have heard complaints about the lack of the skylights from people. They know that this was a feature. I mean, I guess I should be gratified. Somebody occasionally apparently reads our minutes, but they know this is an issue that
it's a loss of character. Yeah, it's a loss of character not to have what was approved.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, there is some question about the 100 Lime Street, the Roger Tory Peterson Estuary Center sign.
Right.
There's some controversy about that because when we approved the sign, the original sign for the Bee and Thistle was huge.
Yeah.
And we approved it, the Roger Tory Peterson Estuary Center sign, as kind of grandfathered into that same size.
Because they put like a plastic kind of like temporary, I remember over.
It was temporary, yeah.
Yeah, and so they were originally going to, because the posts were really old and kind of rotted, they were going to put in new posts, which they never did. And so recently the sign looks different because it was falling over. So they just chopped the rotted part off and put it down.
I mean, this is what we're talking about to Alicia about next meeting. Is that correct?
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, I can tell you if you like, again, what Eric Knapp said, but we can also
Yeah,
wait.
please,
Yeah, what did he
please.
say?
No, go ahead and say right quick, like John.
Yeah.
The
Okay,
basic.
I mean, basically, the question to Eric was, if you're changing the location of a non-conforming sign, and this is non-conforming, it is larger than anything zoning would approve, even with a permit.
Right.
The limit is 12 square feet. So Eric regarded the original sign as a non-conforming use. His review of the legal authorities is it probably still would be called a non-conforming use, even though it's lowered. Now, what zoning approves isn't necessarily what we may move, but I personally find the sign in its current location very problematic. It's right at the eyesight of drivers, and it's huge. So we can discuss
At the next meeting.
alternatives at the
Yeah.
next meeting.
Yep. Okay. Anything else, Martha?
Let's see. What do I have? Oh, there is a Freedom of Information Act workshop on February 25th here at 6:30 p.m., but I'll send out more information. Everybody's invited. It's nice if you can come. It's not a, absolute requirement, but they always have good things about what is public information, what isn't public information, how things need to be advertised and notifications and all kinds of things. So
No secret meetings.
right, no
Yeah.
secret meetings, no discussions between more than two
Two,
people
More than two people.
of a commission on anything. Yeah,
The
that's-
email,
it's-
not to everybody.
Right. If there's more than two people on an email, then it's
A meeting.
a meeting. Yeah.
Technically, it's a meeting, yeah.
Okay.
And we are also making some progress with Elena, the intern who is helping us set up an Excel spreadsheet to put all of our property information in, which is really going to be good. So that's good.
Okay. New and
And
on.
you also we're tracking the Old Lyme Inn lighting. I do think it would be useful to have the owners come in, because I believe Martha checked, and the lighting has never been approved. Whether we want to wait until we have guidelines and bring them in, I don't know. But we certainly have some concrete
didn't we-
thoughts about lighting, spurred in part by the review of the zoning regulations.
Didn't we include illumination in the sign guidelines?
Yes.
So that would be applicable.
You're right.
Right.
Russ, I mean, whether those need revisions is another
But
question, but you're right.
This was
there is-
added after they put the signs in, but you're saying that they never approved lighting as
No.
part of the C of A for the signs.
That's my understanding. I think Martha
No.
looked at the C of As.
Yeah, I looked it up and they had one light on top of the jazz club sign,
Right.
which was grandfathered in because it had been there for a long time. But now apparently they have lighting on the other sign, the big Old Lyme Inn sign. They have two signs for the Old Lyme Inn in
Yeah.
addition to the jazz club sign.
Right. Right.
And the reason they have two Old Lyme Inn signs are because they were there previously. So they were apparently approved at one point in the past. And so when they put the new sign in, they were okay to have the two signs.
Got it.
One, which is visible from the exit from I-95, and one that's visible from Lime Street.
Okay. we're well into 30 minutes past our time, so I would ask on the new and ongoing business. I think new business is illumination. Is there any ongoing business that we really need to discuss now that we could defer to the next meeting?
Defer,
I think we can, I think we can defer, but
Mhm.
that I did send you an email, Russ, about the item that you were going to mention in the co-chair's report, and you might want to mention it now. It had to do with the speed cameras.
Oh, right. Yeah, now I remember. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the town is considering the planning, traffic committee is considering traffic cameras that basically issue tickets and, track the speed. There is the potential, if they were to approve that those devices might end up in the historic district on Lime Street, because Lime Street is one of the areas of concern. Just wanted to bring that to everybody's attention. We would, I don't know what jurisdiction we have over traffic devices. But if we have anything to say about location, appearance, how it impacts the district, we might want to discuss that in an upcoming meeting.
Did we say anything about the sign that's across from the firehouse? The speed sign that's there now?
We haven't, right? And John, what is our jurisdiction on traffic devices, if any?
I would have to double check the exact language.
Maybe for the next meeting.
I mean, if yeah, for the next meeting, I can check that. I
That would
mean,
be great.
in general, I think we don't have discretion if a sign is required by state or local law, but how these signs were approved and I don't know.
Right, okay. That would be a good topic at the next, as well as the elimination topic. And let's discuss, maybe John, maybe we can discuss what we heard today, and whether we take any action before the next committee meeting relative to the public comments today on lighting. I'd like to get a little more background on what's in the district, what's out of the district, and what our jurisdiction is there on the lighting. Anything else critical? Motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye.
Right.